we can always go back and watch it later. And I'm going to get started. So today's our exciting new agent website class. So a lot of things have changed in the past couple of weeks, and I'm assuming you're all here because you know that we now have new agent websites. So I like to start off and tell you a little bit about who I am. So I am Sarah Herta. I am the Regional Tech Director for the Michigan Northern Ohio region. I'm the one who sends you out silly emails every month. You know, things like here's some ideas of some social prompts you could share out if you were so choose. Or obviously, I sent out an email about this class today. I try not to send you too many things because I don't want to annoy you, but this is who I am. And if you ever need to reach me, I did put my email down here at the bottom. It's sarah.herta@kw.com. I put the dot in there because Sarah ends with an H and Herta starts with an H. And if I don't do that, people forget an H. And then they say, I emailed you and I don't know it. So what I'd like you to do, if you're following along today, which you may or may not want to do, please log into Command. So if you don't remember it, the website you go to is agent.kw.com. And you will log in with your Keller Williams login, which is not necessarily the same thing as your email address. So if you want to go ahead and log in on your device, hopefully you can still see us as well. If you want to go back and do this later, you can certainly do that too. All right, so Keller Williams is calling this the most powerful release of agent sites to date. They have totally reimagined the site. It's packed with innovative features built in to perform above and beyond so that you can streamline your workflow. There are customizable page templates, property pages that have been totally redesigned with advanced search features. Client testimonial section, preferred vendor listing section. We now have blog customization that includes video. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about why you might want to wait to upgrade or why you are ready to do it right now. But there are a few people who might want to wait. Now, here's the thing. At some point this year, you're going to have to upgrade, right? It is a totally different platform than what our previous websites were, and they're not going to keep both platforms running. It wouldn't make sense. For now, you guys have some time. They're going to give us plenty of notice as to when that, when you need to, if you haven't yet. Any questions on that part so far? Okay. So we have a couple of housekeeping items to go through. First of all, I want to make sure that you have all completed your marketing profile. So when you log into Command and you click at your name on the top, I put this over on the right-hand side, you're going to click on Settings, then you're going to click Connect Settings, and you will see Marketing Profile. Everything that you fill out here is what filters to your marketing, whether it's on your website, if you are creating, whether it is images or your listing presentation or anything that you are doing in our designs applet, all comes through the marketing profile. After you've hit save on the marketing profile, you want to go back in and you want to make sure that this little slider is moved over to the right so it turns green. And that says, use my information to brand my agent site. If you want to change your picture, if you don't like your picture or your logo or anything that is on the website, this is where you go to do it. Now, in all areas of the marketing profile, they tell you it needs to be a JPEG or a PNG format image smaller than a megabyte. It also says, and I cut it off on here, but it says it needs to be 360 pixels by 360 pixels. I don't know about you, I don't think in pixels. So just remember that means it's a square. So if you see areas on any marketing that you do where your forehead's cut off or where it doesn't look right, it's because most of our agent profile pictures are like a tall rectangle. They are not a square. So you would want to go ahead and crop that image to be a square. Michael is asking if anyone is having internet issues. If you want to put that in the chat, if you are. Okay. So as I said earlier, it's a totally new platform. It's not just an upgraded experience on what we have before. Part of that is that you will lose access to your old agent site pages and your landing pages that you may have created already on your previous site. So if you think about it, if you have a book and another book and you want to rip a page out and put it into another page or another book, it's not going to stay because you've ripped it out of the one, right? They are two totally different books. So I want you to think of this as a totally different platform, which is why your pages will not convert over. Now, the reason I said that some of you may want to hold off to upgrade, that is why, because you will lose access to publish or unpublish those pages, to make any changes, or if it's a landing page, you will lose the ability to even see what that URL is. So if you are someone who has a lot built up on their old site or does a lot with landing pages, my recommendation is that you consider copying all of the text out and deleting those pages, making sure you have all the information and all of the pictures. Anyone have any questions on that?
Could you tell us where the marketing profile is one more time?
Sure. If you click on your name at the top, so right up here, click on your name or your picture, and you're going to click on settings. And then you'll come over to the left-hand side here where it says connect settings, and you will click on marketing profile. And Bob and Carol Murphy are asking, is it the same as my profile? No, my profile is actually new. And my profile is what we used to call white pages. So everything that you filled in when you joined Keller Williams that used to go into your white pages profile is now called my profile. So it is totally different than your marketing profile. Great question. Okay, so if you decide that you are ready to convert over to the new website, it is 4 steps. Well, it's about 4 steps. So again, if you are not sure that you're ready, the first thing that I want you to do is copy all text and photos into a notepad file that you're going to recreate on your new site. I've done this. It honestly does not take very long. Next step, delete all the old pages and landing pages. Again, if we don't delete them, they're going to be live somewhere out there on the internet until they all of a sudden aren't, and we won't be able to change them. So what we want to do in Command is click on the consumer icon. It's all the way at the bottom of the icons on the left-hand side. When we're logged into Command, it looks like this little icon in the middle here. And we are going to click on Agent Site Pages. You can click on the ellipses. It's the 3 little dots, also known as the meatball menu. That's going to be on the right of the page. So you're going to go all the way over. You can click on that and click delete when you are ready to do so. On landing pages, it looks a little bit different now. You'll see I put a picture here where you have the little button or the toggles on the left-hand side. And you're going to go in and deactivate it when you're ready. Again, you don't want to do that until you've copied all of the information and make sure that you have everything that you want. Once you've done that, they will no longer be live. When it's set to off, you won't even be able to see what that URL was, okay? Personally, I put it in a notepad file. I kept all of the information in there. If you have landing pages you want to keep active, then you could keep them active and just make a copy of the address so you would know how to get to it, okay? So I think I've probably said it about 10 times already, but you will not be able to access, deactivate, or edit any of those pages after you go ahead and upgrade, okay? I say this a lot because when you go through the process, there's several places where you click next and it has a whole thing that says, by clicking this button, I agree, I understand, I will not be able to go back. And people click it and then they go, wait, but I want to go back. And I was like, oh, no. Okay. So when you're ready to upgrade, what you're going to notice when you click on the consumer icon, right? So you go into the consumer applet, you're going to see at the top of the page a new little thing. I put a red circle around it. It says upgrade my website. I want you to read that description. I want you to read all of them. Again, it's going to tell you can't go back. You're going to click next. The next thing you're going to do is confirm or change your URL. So what's your URL? That is what you decided you want to be before the kw.com. Once you have either confirmed or changed it, and again, remember, if you change it and you have it on all your business cards and marketing, that might be a problem. So consider that before you go ahead and change it. The next thing is check the box to confirm that you understand what will happen. We've gone over this, and then you're going to click to claim that subdomain. It's going to make sure that it is available or already assigned to you. The third step, there's a check box that you can preview the site if you'd like. And then the last thing is you're going to check, I agree to upgrade, and click upgrade now. So you've got 4 clicks once you get into this and you click upgrade my website. Any questions on that? Okay. Now, once we go ahead and click on that, a new tab is going to open. And the new tab is going to open, it's called the Website Builder. And what I want you to do, if you're following along, what I want you to do is go back to your command tab, because I want to show you what has changed. So for instance, if you look at the screenshot I put here, you will notice that there is no agent site pages, landing pages, or guide builder. Okay, those have all disappeared. And this is what the new consumer applet looks like. Now, if I come into my command and I go ahead and I'm going to click on the consumer, I want you to see this is exactly what it looks like here, right? So again, I can't go back to any agent pages, any site pages, or the guide builder. Okay. Now I put in the pop-up window that comes up on that new builder when it opens. For today, when we get to that point, we're going to go ahead and click explore on my own. You can always come back and click on the tour button at any time. Last thing I want to show you before we go into the new guide builder is that you can set all of your preferences and forced registration here, and you can do it at any time. So I'm going to go back into my command. I'm going to scroll down, and I want you to see we've got our same website settings. We've got our subdomain, so I can see what my URL is at any time. I could change it if I wanted to. Again, keep in mind, if you have that out there on any of your marketing, you probably don't want to change it. I can see what my consumer app code is right here, and I can copy it if I would like to. This is what I might put out there if I want to suggest to people to download my app. Then I've got my preferences section, and the 3 areas I have here. Do I want to display Keller Home Loans on my app and website? And I can enable or disable. Same with Keller Covered. And do I want to show neighborhoods on my website? Now, here's my take on this, and you guys, everyone runs their own business, so you can do what you want. I keep these enabled. The top 2 especially, because I never want anyone to say to me, oh, I didn't know that that was available to me. So I keep them on there. I'm not telling people they have to use Keller Home Loans or Keller Covered. They can use their own lender and their own insurance provider, but I never want someone to say I didn't offer it. If I make a change, I need to hit save. Believe it or not, this is the button people forget. And they say, well, it didn't work. And I said, well, did you hit save? Of course I hit save. And I said, well, let's walk through it. And they get really annoyed with me, and then they didn't save it. This bottom area is our forced registration area. And this basically means how many properties on your agent's site can someone look at before they're forced to register or move on to a different website. The default is unrestricted. That means that people can come and look at any properties on your site without being asked to register. Your other choices are they can look at 10 properties, 2 properties, or none. Okay, so that's up to you what you want that to be. But again, when you make that change, please make sure you hit save. And the default is unrestricted. Michael, you can't customize from 3 to 5. It's either 2, 10, or none, or all. Nothing in between. While we're in this area, some other things that I want to show you are testimonials. So if you had testimonials on your previous website, they show up in this area. Now you can see if I click on any of them on the 3 dots on the meatball menu, I can click full review. And I'm showing you this because you could come in and you could copy and paste into the new system from here. But this is like a repository of anything you had from your old website for testimonials. Obviously, Joe Schmo, it was a demo. I was showing someone how to do it in 2009, and he thinks I'm funny because obviously it was me. Okay. And collections work the same as they did previously. But we're going to jump now into the new website builder if you guys are ready. So Michael, can I convert my testimonials from a third-party website? Absolutely. And I will show you how to do that in just a moment. Any other questions? Okay, I am going to show you my website. So my website, I've customized a little bit. I've built a couple of things out on it. I want you to look at a couple of things. So we've got the header area here. This is what any consumer would see if they go to my website. As a little tool tip, anytime anyone clicks on the logo, it will automatically bring them back to this home page. Serena, you can upgrade today if you would like to. Now, if I come over to the more area, I want you to see there is something called leave a review. And this is the area that you can give to people, to your clients to fill out a review. So Michael, if you had a third party that you wanted, a third party area that you have testimonials, you could go in and copy and paste from there. My recommendation is this. I never want a client to see that I upped the rating they gave me. Like maybe they gave me a 3-star review and I put it as a 5. I copy and paste exactly so that to me, it's integrity. I never want to have that where, you know, Michael Cosman calls me and says, hey, I gave you a 2. I see you put it on your website as a 5, right? So I don't want to do that. So that is where that lives. Now, what we're going to go through today is how to set up the basic features of the website and hopefully how to start building it out from there. So I want you to notice we have a couple of sections. The first area is our search area, which honestly is what everyone wants. So you can switch between buy and rent. You can type in cities, neighborhoods, addresses, postal codes, school districts, landmarks, anything that you want in here. Behind this, you'll notice there's 3 pictures, and these pictures are the default images that Keller Williams provided for us. If I go in and change them, they will show whatever I want. If I don't want it to scroll from picture to picture, I would just put 1. The second area is our featured properties. Featured properties are different now. Our previous experience, we had to go in and choose the exact listings that we wanted. And if you were like me, it would show sold 6 months ago, you know, whatever it was, because I didn't go in and update it regularly. These are now what's called dynamic featured listings. So these pop on and off as they come on the market based on the parameters and criteria that I put in. Okay. Testimonials. Again, these work dynamically. So I put in that I wanted to show 3 stars and up only. So if Michael came in and gave me that 2-star review, it wouldn't show up featured on my home page. I also am going to show you how to pin, well, whether it's a listing or a testimonial. I want Carrie to be first. I want Amit to be second. Those are always going to show. And then the rest of them are going to show up in whatever order. Then we have our blog section where we can add in different blogs based on what we want to show or showcase. Now, one thing to note is everybody has these bottom four, the part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 of your first-time homebuyer's guide. Blog posts are kind of a nice way to feature whatever topic you would like to feature. Okay, and these are all in here for you. At least those first 4. One thing to note is that these do come across very well, and I am nervous to do this, but let's hope that nothing comes up scandalous on my Facebook feed. And what I want to show you is if I copy this URL at the top of the screen, and I come in that I want to post it onto Facebook, you can see it looks very nice. That post looks amazing, right? And it'll open up right to that page. Okay. So this is kind of what we're going to show. And then there's a lot of things that I've taught your Market Center tech trainers, but we're going to keep going over if you want to customize your menu bar, a couple of other things. Any questions again before we move on? Okay. What about school ratings? What about school ratings? You can come off mute, Michael, if you want to ask the questions. If you have a third-party website like greatschools.net or something like that that you want to show, then you could certainly do that, and you could add it in as a separate URL that you could add in there on your website on every single listing. If I scroll down far enough, you will see that every listing automatically has public and private schools. And if they have a rating, it will show up right there. But if you want something specific, you know,
stupid
on your site, then you can go ahead and add that in as a separate page. Okay, so isn't this page exciting? I'm not getting any good looks over here. Okay, so this is what our new website builder looks like. And before we jump in, I want to point out a couple of things. Once we've clicked those 4 buttons, this is the page that will open. Now the pop-up window says, do you want to show a tour or go through the tour? I've said you can do explore on your own. Anytime you want to click the tour button, it is right up here at the top. I want you to make sure if you have any error issue, for instance, if there's no default pages showing, you probably don't have something in the middle, like mine says, Sarah Herta Personal. I want you to see down below, it does tell you exactly right here what your website is. And you can click on it and it would open at any time. We have 5 quick start buttons. These buttons are like a quick thing. You want to create a blog post. You want to create a testimonial. You want to go in and add or build out your content library. You could add in images. You could add in videos using a URL either from Vimeo or from YouTube. And you can add all of those in there. And then, I'm going to be honest with you, it's much easier to quickly create those blog posts when you've already got those built out. Now, the default pages are Contact Sarah, About Sarah, blog posts, homepage, right? Those are our defaults. Let me just check the chat in here. Created a page on my website. You could click the school district and see all homes active. Yes, you can definitely do that still. Uploading neighborhood highlight videos, I think that's fantastic. That's already going to give you a step up on what other people are doing. I would definitely recommend doing that. Okay. When we go through and look at what are these different areas and what is automatically set up for us, We have property search, right? That's again what every buyer and seller want to see. We have featured properties, we have blogs, we have the About Me, and we have Leave a Review. Tracy, team websites will be out by the end of the year, but they have not yet given us a date. Okay, when I look again at how I'm creating these different things, the first area that I'm going to do, I'm going to come back into here. I'm going to click edit my website. And I want you again to look, what does this look like, right? Well, I can see a couple of things. I can see my default pages here. And I can see blog posts that I've created below that. I can see if they're published or unpublished. I can see what date I published them and when I updated them. The contact me, the about the agent, and the blog list you can somewhat customize, but these three, everything pretty much comes from your marketing profile. Whereas the homepage is where we are going to go to start changing everything. And a couple of things, I'm just clearing this out here because I want you to see on the right-hand side, every time I do a demo for someone or every time I make a change, it gives me the revision area. So if I knew, oh, I don't like what I just did, I wanted to go back to September 24th, I could go ahead and go back to that revision. For me, it just gets a little noisy, so I just hide them because it makes it easier for me. On the left-hand side, I have the areas of the homepage that I am going to edit. In the middle, I have a live preview. So the live preview is great because while I'm working, I can see what I'm doing. Now, the first section, I believe originally said, let's find your dream home. And I changed it. I changed it to say, ready for your next move. And all I had to do was type in whatever I wanted there. So you can go ahead and you can change yours to be anything that you want there. And down below, you see the 3 images that Keller Williams has given you. They're called hero images, and they've now changed it to say fallback. The reason is if I go ahead and change and add in my own images, these 3 will disappear. So if you add an image and then you go, wait a minute, where did that one go? They will disappear once you go ahead and do that, right? So if you go ahead and remove any images you've added, those 3 will come back. But the recommended size for those images is 1728 by 536 pixels. Okay. The next thing that I want you to look at is when we look at that search area. And when we look at it again, what else is it that we want to change? Here. If we go into dynamic featured listings, right? So again, I can scroll down on the left and it's called featured properties or dynamic featured listings. And on here, we have a couple of things. This is this middle section right here. I could hide them or show them. First thing is you can change it if you don't like the title of featured properties, you could change it to be whatever you want. The second is, I believe the default says check out my featured homes, and I changed it to say check out our featured homes. I don't want it to look like they're all my listings, so I took out the word my. That's a choice you can decide if you want to do. Now, this is actually pretty cool because I just picked an area in my neighborhood. I just picked an address, something that's in the center. I then come in and say, how many properties do I want to show? And what search radius do I want it to pull from around this address that is the center point? Now, I know that it shows 3 at a time, and then it's a carousel that can go through. How many do I want to show? Again, it's only going to show 3 at a time, but how many do I want to feature? I can then decide how I want it to be sorted. But then I have this button here called Featured Listings. And what this does, if I choose an address, does anyone have a listing that they could put the address in the chat for me? Or say it out loud? Maybe. No. If I clicked on this plus sign and started typing in an address, oh, here we go, 609 Blanchard. And I'm going to assume it's this one because it's Michigan. Of course, it could be this one as well. I'm just going to pick this one. Why not? This one now is going to be the first one. I'm pinning it. Okay, so the rest of my search, the 24 that are a 2-mile radius, right, are going to come after it. But I am featuring this one here. Whichever ones I pin in this area, I could go ahead and then I could say, I want a second one that I'm featuring. So 3272 Thorncrest Drive. I'm going to grab that one. That one's now going to become the second one that I have. And it should populate in just a second, but that one's going to be there. Now I can switch the order of them if I choose, but I can start to build these out. So now my dynamic featured listings will all follow after that. So it's kind of cool because I can go ahead, I'm going to show you in a minute how I can narrow down those featured listings even more, but I can also pin my own properties. Now, if you've played around or done anything with our new ad experience, you can now do what's called multi-listing ads. When someone clicks on that ad, where do they go, right? Because I might be showing 10 different properties. Well, what I probably want to do is feature those right here. So if they click on one of those ads, I can have those featured right in this section here. Okay, next area down, I just want to show you how I continue to narrow the dynamic listings. It will not change anything about the two here that I've pinned, but I can come in to show the rest. I'm going to get rid of one just so we can make sure that we have, you can see what's happening here. Now for these, I have sale or sold, rent or rented. Okay, so for me, I'm going to show things that are for sale. I have active, pending, or coming soon. I can choose the property type. I chose to stick with single family, but I could come in and I could add out whatever I want in here. I could go in and be very narrow between bedrooms and bathrooms. Home size, I was showing this the other day and I was having fun with it. So I said, well, let's say we want it 6,000 square feet and above. And I don't know, we could be really obnoxious and say we want it to be at least 1 million. All right. So I can come in and I can change exactly what is being shown here. So yes, I put in my pinned property, but I can then come in and change everything based on price, based on square footage, based on number of bedrooms or bathrooms, whatever it is that I want to show. And again, it's still going to be pulling those properties a 2-mile radius around this address, except for the ones that I've pinned. Again, I don't have to go in and make any changes to this unless I want to remove the ones that I've pinned. So I'm calling it set it and forget it, right? I don't have to go in and make any changes or remember to take them off. So again, I can change the center point, the number to display, the search radius around that center point, how I want to sort it, if I want to pin featured listings, and then add in all the additional criteria, whether it's bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, and so on. And Timothy, yes, you can select both active and coming soon. Right now, Serena, you can only do one radius. Okay. Dynamic featured testimonials. So again, this section works very, very similarly to the dynamic featured listings. So with that, again, I can display it or hide it. I would change, or I can change the title and the description. So I believe it said client testimonials and there was no description. I changed it to say happy clients, hear what our clients say. That's just what I changed mine to. Now, again, how do I want to sort them? How many do I want to show? Do I want to filter them by a star rating? Because again, remember, this is featured on your home page. And do I have specific ones that I want to come first? So when I am in my website builder, I'm going to come down to the client testimonial section. You can see because I changed mine to say happy clients. That's what it has changed to. I can change that title, and then underneath I have the description where I said, hear what our clients have to say. Now, Karen and Krista, you can't find your home page. Really quickly, I want to make sure, I'm just going to go back to the beginning real quick. Do you have any of these default pages? And you can take yourself off of mute if you would like to. Do you have something in between your email address and the plus sign? So where mine says Sarah Herta Personal. So if you do not, what I want you to do is get with your Market Center tech trainer, because we'd have to create a ticket to support with that. So Karen, if you want to message me with your information, I can make sure that we make that happen. I don't know what Market Center you're with. So if you have the basic default pages, what we're on right now is where it says page, homepage. And I am coming down here to client testimonials. So you can change the title and the description. You can change between dynamic and basic. Here's the difference. Whether you're on the featured properties or the testimonials, basic is like what we used to do, where you go in and manually update it all the time. Dynamic means you're setting it and forgetting it. So if you just kind of think of it that way, if you want to be very manual with it, then you can change it to basic. Okay. Now you can come up and hide if you don't want to show it. If you are showing it, how do you want them sorted? Oldest or newest? How many do you want to show? Up to 24. And again, like I was joking before, how do you want to sort them or filter them? So you could come in and say you only want to show people from the one city, or you could come in, I did star ratings. So I was joking that Michael gave me a 2 and I don't want a 2. So I'm going to have it be minimum of 3, or I could say minimum of 4, whatever I want to do, that will update here. Just like on the featured properties, we can come in and pin. So I told you I made Carrie always first, I made Ahmed always second, or I could come in, I could move that order. I could add a different one. If I wanted them very specifically to always show in one order, then I could go in and add in as many as I want here. Any questions on featured testimonials? Now, what will happen is on your website, as I showed you before, there's a leave a review page. So anyone can come in at any time and leave a review. And as long as you have dynamic on, you should be fine to get those to show right away. Our next section is the blog. And this is really where the gold is, if you will, right? So we used to talk a lot about agent pages, and now we talk about blogs. So anything that you had as an agent page, or most likely a landing page, you would recreate as a blog. Now, Keller Williams did a study of all of the landing pages that agents were creating, and 96% of them were either a property page or an open house sign-in form. So what I want to do is show you how you could recreate that and kind of what these look like. If I come back in here, Timothy, you don't have all the choices for filtering. Which ones are you showing?
All I have is, I don't have star rating in there. And I can only, oh, I'm looking at the log, sorry, let me go back to the other one. So I don't have a choice for, star ratings or any of that. Like in your testimonials. I can only do
Mhm.
24 max. And the filtering I have, oh, it does give me star rating, I'm sorry, I see it now, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. I just wanted to make sure.
But I
Okay,
only have 15 max, you have 24, I don't know why that is, but it doesn't matter, it's good. Sorry about that.
no problem. Okay, so when we look at the blog section on the homepage, you are not creating the blogs here. You are creating how the blogs look on your homepage, if that makes sense. So on here, just like the other sections, you can display it or hide it. You can change it. So I think the default said my blog, and then in parentheses, it said first time home buyer's guide. Well, I didn't want it to be just that. So I changed mine to say real estate resources, and I changed the description to say learn about buying, selling, and careers in real estate. Feel free. You guys can use it if you like it or change it to something else you want. Now with these, very similarly, you're going to go ahead and narrow down exactly how you want these to look. Now, again, you have dynamic and basic. With both, you have an advanced option. But with these, what I want you to see is you can go, if you had different methods that you were doing, how do you want them to be? Do you want them alphabetical? How many do you want to show? Is there specific filtering that you want to add in there? I chose for mine a specific order that I wanted them to be in, and I went through and pinned them in that order, if that makes sense. So that's how I did it. Once you go ahead, even if you don't do anything with the blogs and you just leave the 4 that you get from Keller Williams in here, these bottom 4, you pretty much got your website set up. Everything else is kind of the icing on the cake. Before I move forward, I want to double check. Does anyone have, besides Karen? Yep, we're going to talk about blogs. Can we screen reviews before posting? Yes, you can. Okay.
Sarah, do we have your permission to kind of like use your blogs for some seed?
Absolutely. I'll even tell you how I made them. Okay. Yes, you can add in the YouTube links or Vimeo video links. Okay. So as of now, your site technically is set up. If you never did anything else, you at least have your blog set up. What I'm going to show you really quickly is actually on the live site. When I created these, this page here, which is kind of a nerd page, but that's kind of what I do. This page I had as a landing page on my website previously. Marion, once you have 24 reviews, essentially you could either pin the ones that you want, or you could sort them, but they would just filter in. So I copied all of the text, I copied the picture, and then I want you to see I added in videos. I also added in a hyperlink. If somebody wants to click on it, they go to my calendar. But all of these things here, these were all YouTube links that I went in and stuck on here. So you can definitely do that. So Michael, if you're doing something and you want to add in your videos, make sure that they are either uploaded to Vimeo or to YouTube, and then you can take that URL and stick them right in. A couple of other ones that I have in here. This one here, which is a seller's home guide, for, prepping your house for sale. Believe it or not, I actually asked, because I was teaching about artificial intelligence, and I went into ChatGPT and I said, I put out a whole nice prompt about creating an engaging blog post that is a seller's home guide. And all of the text came directly from ChatGPT. And I read through it to make sure that it said what I wanted it to say, and there was nothing that didn't sound good. And then I went on to one of many websites and I downloaded some copyright-free, royalty-free photos. And I just added them right in. Then I added in my contact information at the bottom, and now I have that blog post. Another one that I did, I had taught about using RPR data and ChatGPT and creating market insights. So for instance, this one is all about Kalamazoo. All I did is add the picture and add a link for Kalamazoo homes for sale. And here's all the information. Now the data came from RPR and I asked ChatGPT to rewrite it in a different tone. So you can easily create anything like any of those. So if we come in and look, now here you go.
Sarah, this is Monique. I
Yep.
have a question, if I may.
Yeah.
So am I to understand that all of the pages that I add to my website have to be are a blog page? I can't have another landing page, just a regular landing page on the site? Or
Currently,
did I miss
no.
that?
So landing pages are coming out again in the next couple of weeks, but the difference is because it's a totally different platform, they will not automatically come over. You would have to copy out, just like any site pages, you'd have to copy out all of the text and all the pictures, and then you could recreate it.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yeah. If we look at this page, what I put together here for you is really, we have these 5 shortcuts. They're called quick start buttons. And with these, you'll see there's blog post, image, testimonial, video from a Vimeo URL or from a YouTube URL. I recommend you go in and you build up your, what we would call your content library. So Michael, you talked about videos. If you have a whole bunch of URLs, I would go in, I would look at your list of them and I would add them all in. I would go in if you have images you'd like to use, I would go ahead and add them all in. And these are building up your libraries of videos and of images. Then if you go ahead and click on the word blog post here on this little quick start button, this is what this image or what the screen looks like. And you can see on the left, I typed in, this is the headline area. And you see on the right in the preview, it comes in as bold and large. I put the subline, here's the subline, subheadline. The next area is to add in a hero image. So again, if I built up that library of images, you can see my royalty-free, copyright-free kitchen picture from the other post, I stuck that in there. And then below this picture, there's an area for your content where you can add in anything that you would like.
So, Sarah, question. A lot of these
Mhm.
images that I have are on my cell phone. How do I just get them uploaded? Is it easy?
I would say you want to bring it from your cell phone to your computer, and then it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Yep. So if I come into here and I am going to go to my home page, or sorry, the dashboard. So Michael, I would click on the word image and it looks kind of ugly, but I'm going to click on choose. It's bringing me, you can see all my little command applets for what I was adding into the slides. But if I had pictures specifically on here, I could go ahead and click on any of those pictures. And there you go. I brought it right in. Now, because it's got a transparent background, it's put that funky thing on there. If I wanted to add a caption to it, I could, but I'm just going to leave that where it is. I will hit save. So now that is added to my image library. And I would do the same thing. If I clicked here on YouTube video, there's a lot of sections in here, but to be honest with you, all I need to do is paste in the URL right up here at the top. That's all I really have to do. And then I'd hit publish and it adds it right in. So if I were to come in and click blog post, again, this is what I put in that screen. So as I start typing, you'll see it changes. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on an image. And you can see a whole bunch of images. I'll take the living room shot. So now I've got the living room in there. Again, I could add in any sort of credits or any sort of captions. And then I can start typing in my body area. And in here, this is where I can also add in all sorts of things, whether it's images, videos, a playlist, right? The only thing I can't do that I could do on the old sites is I can't change the color of the text right now. Edna, you can preview the YouTube link. I would also, you're going to see it on here, but I would also recommend you could go ahead and publish it and then you could change it because these are all live. You can go in and make any changes at any time. Okay, if you guys so far are good with where we are at, what I want to do is show you something that is really exciting. Are you guys ready for exciting?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yay! Our new websites have open house sign-in sheets built into them. When you have people sign in on these, they automatically go into Command. Tricky thing is, because they're making some changes on the back end, I'm going to show you how you easily find them, because right now that to me is the trickiest part. But we could go in and we could do this super fast. So, a couple of things. I'm going to go to my website because I'm the one holding the open house. If I'm holding the open house for another agent and that agent says, you're just going to get the experience, I get all the leads, or whatever the arrangement is, because you know it's real estate, there's always something. In that case, I would go to their website to do it. I am going to pick a property. So I could come in and let's pick a town. Let's do Grand Rapids. All right, Michael. I already typed in Grand Rapids, but I'm just going to show them. Now, why are there two of these properties? It's because they're in two different MLSs. So when you see something like that, that is why. But I'm going to pick a listing. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even have to be a Keller Williams listing. I could pick any property, but this one looks super cool. So even though it's not a Keller Williams property, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to click it. Now, this is what it looks like on our new website. And to give you an idea, everything here pulls from the MLS. So I'm going to get all of the pictures. I'm going to get, well, these are hyperlinks to go to different parts of the page. Now, I am not licensed in Michigan. Okay, but if somebody wants to request a tour or contact me for more information, they are going to me because they're on my website. I want you to remember that our websites are like a Google map with the MLS on it. You are not restricted to the board you belong to, the MLS you belong to, the state you live in, anything. Okay, so someone was asking about international. If you have listings that you pull up on your website that are international listings, you could even do it on there, although it might be hard to hold an open house from there. When you come in and you look, I just want you to see, you get a lot of details that pop up on here. There's always callbacks to you as the agent. And you get your mortgage calculator, which you can type in all sorts of great stuff. As long as you have the Keller Home Loans and Keller covered on your the back end of Command, it will populate here. It will show if there's any sales history or tax history. It talks about the neighborhood. Again, the nearby schools. I could put in like grandma's house if I want to know how long it's going to take to walk there. I can walk, bike, or drive. It'll give similar properties in the area, and then it gives the map and then more information. But here's what I want you to see. If I'm doing an open house here, up at the top, it won't let me zoom in on the URL bar, but I want you to see every property on our website does have a unique URL. And it's, on my case, going to start off with sarahherda.kw.com. What I want to do is go all the way to the end. I want to make sure I'm not highlighted anymore because I don't want to delete anything. And I'm going to type a slash. That is the slash under the question mark. And I'm going to type the word open house. And I'm going to click enter. And it takes a few seconds for this to create, but it is essentially creating our open house sign-in page for us. Now, I would personally copy this URL down because I could use this, whether it's on a tablet, on my laptop, whatever I have when I am doing the open house. And what happens is this is exactly what the client will see. So they could scroll through and they could look at all of the pictures. They could do whatever they want on there. And they are going to come in here. And I'm going to put Trisha in here because she's on my screen. And I don't know Trisha's info, so I'm going to make up something. Let's see. So the system does check for real phone numbers and such. So I am going to make something up. They check the box and hit submit. So as soon as they sign in, they get a QR code that's going to bring them to that listing page on my website. The agent sees right here, they have a back to sign in form. So if they want to go and be ready for the next client, they just click on that. So that's so easy that if I wasn't talking, we would have been done in 2 seconds. Michael, currently we do not have any customized options on here. So what it is name, phone number, and email, and that is it. Okay, so what I want you to think about afterwards, and I did put this next, is we want to set up what's called a smart view. And if you haven't heard of smart views, I really want you to think about it. So I'm going to walk you through, and now these are only available once you have converted to the new website. Not smart views in total, just what I'm showing you with this. So when I come in, because I have all the agents in Michigan and Northern Ohio, plus my own actual database, I have about 14,000 plus people in here. So it is not manageable. And I tell you that because this is why smart views are so important. What I want to do is I want to click on the word filter. I'm going to come to where it says lead source, and I'm going to type in the word open house. And I want you to see that these 4 options come up. The ones that say open house with the word site in parentheses will not show for anyone until they've migrated over to the new website. And I want to choose both of those. And then I'm going to click apply. And when I do that, I now have all of the people. You can see that Trisha does not have any tags because she just came right in from signing into that form. If I were to open up Trisha's contact record, I can see her phone number, her email. She came in from the open house website, and I have a hyperlink exactly to what page she signed in from. So if I forgot which one, I can always go back and look. And what we can also do is set up triggers. And this is where I ask your tech trainers to think about how the agents work, because I'm going to work differently than Mike, than Tim, than Trisha, than anybody. So if I'm using a smart plan or a follow-up plan that is generic, I could say anytime someone comes in with a lead source of open house with the word site in parentheses, I want them to be tagged this way and automatically set up on this smart plan. I'm rather picky and I like my smart plans to be very direct. So if I was doing an open house at 44 Lafayette, I was going to make sure that that's what that smart plan had in. So when they walked out the door or went upstairs, I'm going to go onto my mobile app and I'm going to add Trisha to the smart plan that I've created specifically for 44 Lafayette. Doot, doot, doot. She's upstairs. She's just walking in the master bedroom and she's going, wait, I got a message. She's downstairs and she's already bugging me, you know, it's great. Okay. So that is a lot of the new fun stuff with our new website. I do apologize that we are 2 minutes over. I would love to hear from you with any questions that you guys have or anything that I can do to help you guys. I am going to put in the chat. This is a list of answers.kw.com articles all about the new website. And if it would be helpful for you, I am going to share this presentation here. And the only thing that I ask is that because I am actually sharing this live link, that you don't make any changes to it, because then it will be changed for everyone. So what questions do you guys have?
Sarah, you are
Yep.
fabulous, and I love these websites. They are really, I mean, you know, I've been here a while. I've
Yep.
seen some things, and these are just dynamite. I think the nuance of walking through the sites seems so straightforward. And for those that it's a little bit too much, our fantastic Market Center tech trainers, thank you for all you do with them. And thank you to all the Market Center tech trainers, because just thank you. Mwah.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Well, if anything comes up and you guys have any questions, let me know. One last thing I'm going to say. So I noticed I'm a very transparent person. So I like to tell it like it is, and I'm never going to tell you something that's not true. So I got my new website at the end of August, and I noticed that I had an increase in what I call spam leads. And I knew they were spam leads because the first name and the last name were the same, and it was like a combination of words. And the note that came in with it was in a different language. And what I noticed was, I think I told you this at the beginning, my website was also listed as the fourth one down on the first page of Google. Now, I've been working with support on it quite heavily, and they have gotten it down. I get one every day, day and a half. I think over the weekend I got 3, but other than that, right? I'm now number 4 on Google, where I was like on page 6 or 8 or some crazy thing before. So if you transition over to the new sites, I want you to be prepared that you might see some of that. And here's the deal. Do you want to be visible? Do you want to be shown? Do you want people to be able to easily find you? If so, be prepared. You might get some spam leads. And, you know, there's this great button called archive. I just get rid of them. I'd rather be easily found. So some people get really, really triggered by it. No, this is ridiculous. Maybe, but I know they're working very hard on the back end. They don't want to add in too many like reCAPTCHA boxes where you have to find all the bicycle parts and whatever else, because then people are more likely to just click away. But at the same time, how do we cut down on it? So that's something that on the back end they are working on. Some things that you can look forward to in the future. And the future, I mean, very soon, but again, they don't give me dates, so I can't tell you a date. So again, team sites are coming. Home valuations are coming. Landing pages are coming, again, on the new platform. What else? I think I'll leave it at those 3 for now, but I'm excited for the home valuation ones. That's going to be really, really cool.
Sarah, I just wanted to let you know too that we've seen an increase of the spam leads, recently, like over the last 2 months, and haven't even switched over yet. So I think that there's just maybe some targeting happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. I honestly wish these people would just get something better to do. That's just me. I mean, what does it matter if they go into my database? It's not like I'm going to contact them. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you guys. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye.